Hey everybody. So we're in week 5 now, and I'm just going to show you about all your assignments, how to do it. Mainly, I want to talk about this stained glass slope project. It's really fun, I promise. So first things, classwork. Over here in your topics section, if you click week 5, these are all your assignments for the week. Okay, you have a quiz. You have bell ringers. Remember, bell ringers are for participation. Try your best. Okay, just like every other bell ringer we do. And then there's a slope stained glass project. All the instructions are on this PDF. You can print the PDF off and do your work on it. You can do it on a separate sheet of paper. You can write on the PDF if you have a way to do that. But there are no interactive spots on the PDF, so you might have to think of a new way to turn it in. But first off, on the PDF, hold on, let me get to where. Here's the instructions. First, it says slope stained glass project. Direction number 1. Choose 3 linear equations from each column on page 2. Circle each equation you choose. I have already done one of these from each column for you. So you just have to pick 2 more. First column is x equals. So x equals -4. I substitute -4 in for my x column. My y column, I get to assign whatever I want. So -1, 0, 1. So when we substitute that into the equation, there's no place to substitute it in. So we know it's just x is -4, y is -1. The slope here is undefined. Okay, that's because our line x equals -4 is a vertical line. It's going up and down. There's no slope. Remember slope, dude? We had positives. We had positives. We had negatives. We had flat line, meaning it was 0 fun. So slope was 0. And then he fell off the cliff. Little guy fell off the cliff, and he said the worst cuss word in math, which is undefined. So, your slope is undefined here because he's going up and down. Y-intercept, there is no y-intercept because it's just x equals -4. The second column is y equals -8, and I did that on the second page. So y equals 8. For my y column, you just substitute in 8s. For my x column, I just picked random numbers. So 1, 0, -1, those are pretty standard. My coordinates are 1, 8, 0, 8, -1, 8. Slope, 0. Y-intercept is 8. Okay. Go back. Our third column, y equals 1/2 x plus 3 is what I chose. So if we look at it, this time I'm going to pick
It ain't that she can't do it, it's she's
Okay, sorry for the crying and the talking. So y equals 1/2 x plus 3. I still picked 1, 0, and -1. Substituting that in for x. So 1/2 times 1 plus 3. Well, 1/2 times 1 is 1/2 plus 3. That left me with 3.5. 0 times 1/2 is 0 plus 3 leaves me with 3. Okay, so that's how those go. The last column, y equals 3x minus 3. This time, instead of using the 1, -1 like I was doing, I picked different numbers so you know that you don't have to use those same numbers every time. 2, 0, and -3 is what I chose. 2 times negative 3 is negative 6. Minus 3 left me with negative 9, so that's 2, negative 9. I think I messed up here. Let me see if I can erase that. Yeah. So, when it's negative 3, so y equals negative 3 times negative 3, subtract negative 3. Negative 3 times negative 3 gives me a positive 9. Negative times negative makes a positive. 9 subtract 3 leaves me with 6, positive 6. Okay, I think I had something like 12 there, and that's because I had lost my signs. So 6. Okay, that is step number 1. Go back to our slide. You got to do that for 2 more equations in each column. The next says to create a value table on 2 and 3. And that's what we've done. We've recorded our slope and y-intercept for each line. Okay, let me show you how to do the y-intercept for this one. So this is called slope-intercept form. Okay, our slope is in front of the x. So this is our slope. Our y-intercept is after that equation, so after the x, and that's our y-intercept. Okay, so slope is negative 3, our y-intercept is also negative 3 there. Number 4, use the coordinates in the value table, graph the line on the graph paper provided. Extend the lines to the edge of the paper. Neatly write the equations on the graph. Okay, so the last page of this is graph paper. And I went ahead and I wrote the equations over to the side so we wouldn't have to keep flipping back and forth. So, x equals negative 4. My lines will probably be sloppy, and I apologize for that. I hope you all use a straight edge. X equals negative 4. My x-axis runs this way. My y-axis runs this way. Negative 4. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is negative 4. So my line, x equals negative 4, will look like this. Let me see if I can move my equation. No, I cannot. I'm going to have to add it. X equals negative 4. Let's see. That's that equation. The next one, y equals 8. Y equals 8. So we go up on the y-axis. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Technology is such a beautiful yet horrible thing. So y equals 8. Our third line. Third line is y equals negative 3x minus 3. And this is where we've seen most of the questions about. If we have a line in slope-intercept form, we start at our y-intercept. So at negative 3 is where we're going to start. 1, 2, 3. That's our first point. Then, from there, we're going to go up 3 and to the right 1. Or to the left 1, because it's negative. We're going downhill. Alright, up 3, 1, up 3, left 1, 3, left 1, 3, left 1. Okay, and we're, oh, that was horrible. We're extending this line out. So that is y equals negative 3x minus 3. We have one more line to graph here. That line is 1/2 x plus 3. So at positive 3 is where we're going to start. Our slope's 1/2. So slopes rise over runs. We're rising 1, running 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. Positive 3. 1, run 2. Rise. And like I said, this would be a lot better with a straight axis. Get you a piece of paper and put it on the paper and then draw your line. It's a perfect way to do it. So there's our 4 lines. So let's go back to our instructions and see what's next. For each, choose 3 of the x-intercept and y-intercept pairs on the table from page 4. Circle the pairs you choose. Okay. Table on page 4. I've done one of these for you as well. So there's my x and y-intercept pair. My x-intercept is 10. My y-intercept is 10. My slope here, I use this slope formula, y2 minus y1, x2 minus x1, and I got a slope of 1. If you want me to write that out, I can for you. My y2 here is 10. Subtract my y1 is 0. It's supposed to be a 0. Divided by x2 is 0. x1 is 10. 10 minus 0 is 10. 0 minus negative 10. Subtracting a negative is like adding a positive, so that's 10. 10 over 10 gives me a slope of 1. That slope is positive, so I circle positive. You pick 2 more of these and complete this graph. Okay, that's all for that step. Then it says, graph these 3 lines using the x and y intercept as points. Extend the lines to the edge of the graph. Okay, so my line, or my points, was negative 10, 10. Okay, so we're going to have an x-intercept at 10. So 10 would be here on my x-axis. Y-intercept at negative 10. Okay, I'm going to have to count this out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Using those 2 points, make sure this is 10. 4, 6, 8. Here's 10. Extend that out. So there's that line. Neatly write the x-intercept and y-intercept of these lines. Trace over the lines and the equation intercept you graphed with a black marker. That's just to make it darker. Okay, if you don't have a black marker, don't worry about it. Just try to make it as dark as you can. Color the sections you formed by the lines to create the stained glass window. Your entire page should be colored. Okay, that's optional. Again, it's just because if you don't have coloring crayons, you're not going to be able to do that. Okay, let's look at how it's graded though. So, how it's graded. Worksheet is turned in, is free of math errors, is neatly written. That's how you get a 4. It's turned in free of math errors. That's 3. So neatly written. Get you an extra point there. All 15 lines are drawn correctly. Labeling is clear. And it's outlined in black marker. It's outlined dark. We'll just call that dark. Coloring's optional, so I'm not even going to talk about that. Project has all straight lines. It's clear. It's as clear as straight edge was used. I didn't use a straight edge. You need to use a straight edge. Overall appearance is neat, visually appealing, and creative. If you look at mine, I would probably give mine a 2. Yep, give myself a 2 right there. Because it's not straight. It's not clear. I do have coloring. I do have some shading. But other than that, it's pretty horrific. So, that's about the stained glass project. Then, you have a quiz. Your quiz is a total of, I think, 9 questions. Yes, 9 questions. It's all multiple choice. Do your best here. Okay? Use the slope formula. Use your notes. Use everything you know about slope to answer these. Look at the graphs. Okay? If you have questions, please contact me or Miss Garman. And just know we're here for you. And if I don't get to you like as soon as possible, know that my little girl is wild. And it takes me a little while. So, after 3 o'clock is probably when I'm going to get to you. Okay? But, have a lovely week. Be careful. Don't get out of your house. Unless you're just in your yard. Don't go anywhere. It's such a lovely life we have. See ya.